There are so many out there that we'll go through, but we're gonna focus on Charlie Kirk for this video. But here's an inkling. Here's just one example of a small lie that is like, it's one card in a house of cards of lies that they have built, that they present as the mainstream media. It's hard to look at the news for a lot of people and think, well, they're all lying to me. But it's the little lies that just add up and add up and add up, that just like, when you step away from that and you look at it from a clear lens, you're like, oh shit, like what is really going on? The quote that I'm gonna pull up is from advocate.com, and the title is "Reactions to Far-Right Activist Charlie Kirk's Death Pour In Across the Political World." And they have a section here from GLAAD, G-L-A-A-D. It's a LGBTQ rights nonprofit organization. Where it gets crazy to me is right here. GLAAD stressed the extent to which Kirk and Turning Point USA promoted anti-LGBTQ plus narratives. The group highlighted Turning Point College's campus campaigns featuring speakers such as Riley Gaines, Chloe Cole, and Pastor Jensen Yu, who regularly spoke against transgender people. You guys, Chloe Cole's trans. Chloe Cole was a trans minor that got a double mastectomy as a minor and actively speaks out against transitioning minors so that they did not have to go through all the medical defects and mental turmoil that Chloe Cole is now going through because she was sent down the right to transition as a minor.
I was medicalized starting with puberty blockers and then testosterone at the age of 13. I went on to have a double mastectomy at 15.
You have GLAAD, this gay organization, calling Chloe Cole anti-trans people. They're literally... That's just one example, you guys. That's just one example. Again, I show all this and I'm saying all this because this is what Charlie inspired me to do. It's what he told me to do. And I'm very honored and very thankful for the interactions that I've had with him in the past. Truth matters. Context matters, and I hope that you walk away from this video with at least a more open mind and understanding on why so many people genuinely love the things he had to say and how he operated and moved through this realm. Trans people.
I just want to say I'm a transgender male. What age should kids be able to get things like hormone therapy? Because I don't know what's true, what's not.
Tell me, are you comfortable telling me your story?
I've known that since like 3rd grade. And I'm currently 19, almost 20. I've known basically since then. I didn't start going by like a different name until 7th and 8th grade. I just don't know, like with the whole medical stuff, like what's true, what's not.
I'm gonna let this person finish, but Charlie gets called a transphobic bigot. The crowds get called transphobic bigots. There's a trans person that went through that crowd, is asking a question. No one's heckling them. No one's harassing them. No one's beating them. Charlie's sitting there being super respectful, hearing them out. That's all he ever did, was hear people out. Like he wasn't this radical person that was very mean and rude on campuses. No, he could get stern with people. He was matching energy, that's for sure. He matched energy. But this is who we're talking about as someone super transphobic.
It's helpful because I've heard so many different opinions.
First of all, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm gonna have an opinion that very few people will ever tell you, which is I want you to be very cautious putting drugs into your system in the pursuit of changing your body. I instead encourage you to work on what's going on in your brain first. I think what you need first and foremost is just a diagnosis. Just someone that is gonna listen to what you've gone through, listen to what else is going on. My prayer for you, and again, very few people will say this, I actually want to see you be comfortable in how you were born.
Yeah.
I know that you might not feel that way, but I think that is something that you can achieve. I think that with the right team and the right people, you don't have to wage war on your body. You can learn to love your body.
That's the people. That's who that people are calling transphobic bigot. Someone like that in an interaction like that. Respectful, calm, telling that person how they feel, wishing them the best, going about their day. There's another one.
You're part of the problem, I think, with the hatred on trans people. It's really not that deep. Like, if someone wants to dress up however they want, that's totally fine.
Okay, so
and I think
I'm
that's
not
where the
preventing
hatred
you. I'm
comes
not preventing
from.
you from dressing up like this. However, let me ask you a question. I will flush this out. So let's pretend you say you are a woman.
Yeah,
And
yeah, let's pretend.
I know you are a man, but I refuse to
But-
call you a woman.
Okay.
Who's the hateful one?
I would say you are. I mean,
Oh,
I wouldn't.
so
I
you're
wouldn't
gonna
appreciate
force
it.
me and
I'm
shame
not
me?
forcing
No, hold
you
on
to
a
do
second.
anything, man.
I'm the hateful one.
It's really just like common courtesy.
It is never
that much
common
effort?
courtesy to lie. You do
Okay.
not become a thing just because you say it, you are the thing.
So-
And guess what? Nobody in the history of the species that was born XX or born XY and transitioned is able to change their chromosomes. Every
Yeah.
one of your cells is coded either XX or XY.
But
And
that's
it is an
where-
insult to women everywhere in this audience and across the country that's saying that you could just have wear makeup and dress like a woman, undergo surgery, that you magically become a woman. And
I think that's fine.
it is the abolition of women and is the
Yeah.
abolition of reality.
That it can be hard to hear for some people. I will acknowledge that. But that's not transphobic. That's just the truth. There's a reason trans people exist. You have male and you have female. If you're transitioning from male to female, you're attempting to mimic the other thing, right? You're transitioning from male to female. Clearly, what that means is you were never that thing and you're never going to be that thing. I have trans friends. I love my trans friends. They acknowledge that they are what they were born as. They acknowledge their gender dysphoria. They acknowledge the mental health things that they go through. And that's all fine and dandy. And I call them what they want to be called, but you can't force that on somebody. The only reason all this attention has been on trans people the last few years is because their involvement in transitioning minors and being involved in women's spaces. That's it. The two most protected groups of people in the world, really, for the most part, it's kind of like off limits, women and children. Trans people in the United States the last few years have gone after women and children. There's other videos on my channel that we've talked about this in great lengths, but this is a thing that actually has happened. This is why people have become so vocal. There's a reason we see gay relations in the United States completely getting positive and getting better, and it starts plummeting when all this stuff started happening, when trans women in sports and transing children. If we're gonna look at it from a different perspective, kids, they can't drink, they can't vote, they can't smoke. They're kids. They're not grown enough. So this thought and idea that you can give a 14-year-old a double mastectomy, and before you say, oh, it doesn't happen, Chloe Cole, it does happen. Before you say it doesn't happen or that's wrong, these are things actively going on. I have all the books. I'm talking about book bans. I have all the books in my closet. I've read them all, the LGBTQ books that have been banned. It's literally corn giving instructions on how to please yourself. For 6th graders? Again, I wasn't going to be sitting here being told how to think. I bought the books. You can buy them. You can look in them. And you can decide for yourself if you really think that's appropriate for 5th and 6th graders. It's not. But on the topic of trans, Charlie Kirk really stood up for the women and children. And he did promote the detransitioners because their voice matters too. It does, especially when you're dealing with minors, not adults, minors. When you have this growing faction of trans people saying, hey, I was a trans minor and I made the wrong decision, at least wait till you're an adult. All of a sudden that's being considered transphobic and bigoted. I thought we were supposed to listen to them. Notice whenever you're being invited to hear another side, it's always a term for them. Oh, they're transphobic, don't listen to them. They're TERFs, they're anti-trans people, they're self-hating gays, self-hating blacks. What if they're just people with opinions? What about that?